Hey, it's your boy Depression back at it again with another review. This time we're going to do a game that I really personally enjoy, and so does Matt, which is why he's here helping me review it. I got some background music to, kind of like fill the weird, the talking to kind of give a little bit more, I guess, background to it. Also, a fun fact: me and Matt just did 15 minutes of this fucking review before I realized I wasn't recording. So that's fun,
Ah!
and we had some really good points, and it's upsetting. Anyway, we're gonna move on into yeah, the
Do we get again?
gameplay. Yeah, the game. I will say this, Matt, but whenever we get into the gameplay, instead of talking about the archetypes and stuff like that, we'll wait till the design for that because that's more of a design thing, you know.
Hmm hmm
Anyway, this is a blurry ass picture. I did not realize it. Probably could have fixed it before I started recording again, but I said fuck it. Uh, anyway, fuck. I gotta talk about this again. So
Yeah.
the gameplay for Dragon Age Origins, basically. Um, I guess I should say this earlier, but this is the most rawest rendition of review. There's nothing written down or anything like that. We're literally just talking. And the gameplay for this
Spitballing
game, yeah, gameplay for this game is I enjoy it even now to this day. It makes it kind of feel like this is a very rare RPG that you could play, and if you couldn't pause it, it would feel like an MMORPG. Uh, and I enjoy personally the aspects of the MMORPG play style. I feel like it's like one of those things you have like all these different shits that you can do at any point in time, and as long as you've memorized what does, you can fucking send it out. I mean, of course, you're obviously gonna have certain skills that you're constantly, spamming out because they're gonna be your highest damaging or they're or whatever have you. I mean, but they also have a weird tactics thing where you can pause it, and then you can also order your people to do certain things when need be. Uh, and my music just stopped. God damn, this review is really gonna suck my asshole. There it
it.
is. Anyway, oh, this is the fucking Archdemon one, I think, or no, whatever. Anyway, so, but for an RPG in itself, we talked about the dialogue earlier. It's the dialogue options are, that gives you a lot of different options that you can talk about and stuff like that. And the hero it's himself, the warden, is not a voice character, so it's a silent hero type. But because it's a silent hero type, that you have so many more different options to say in the conversations with other characters than you would in modern RPGs. Like you're not gonna pick like, yeah, I'll get right on that, and then your character say something like, I don't know if I got the time for that, but I'll try to squeeze it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's a faux choice in modern RPGs. It doesn't actually matter what you pick. Your character is still going to accept the task and do it anyway.
mhm.
Whereas in this one, you had a lot of the dialogue that you could pre-read, and you knew that you weren't actually going to accept something or say yes to something, yada yada. So it
Yeah.
felt better.
There's also like sometimes there were three options to accept it, but like there were different variations. Like you could be like, yeah, I'll do it, or yeah, I'll do it for a price, or yeah, I'll do it, but so and so dies. And there's like just like how there's multiple options to say no to something. You could be like, no, I don't feel like doing it, or like, no, I don't have the time, or like, no, you're not offering enough money. Various things like that. We also talked earlier about the diverse plays, like the play you could do. Like so, like you got
Yeah,
like
the play styles.
the play styles itself, which is like you've got like you had three classes, but every class can do something different. Like for example, I played this game as a pure elementalist magic user, and whenever I got to the archetypes and stuff like that, that's when I started splitting off from that elemental path. But I mainly still focus on just pure damage output with that. But if I had wanted to, I could have played a support mage. I could have played a control mage. Various different things like that. You could have played like a vice versa, like a half and half of anything in that combination. And then you got the warrior you know, who can be a tank or a damage dealer. You could be a two-handed warrior that is a tank. I mean, it won't do as well as a sword and shield, obviously, but I mean, like you can still do it. And then
Yeah.
then I'll let Matt talk about the rogues because that's his niche.
Yeah, which is you could do, more the trap based rogue, and really control the battlefield there. You can just be a straight stealth rogue that teleports behind people, stabs them a bunch, disappears again. Flipping all over the battlefield. Or you could even just do the ranger rogue, which involves summoning creatures even, and makes you feel more druidy than anything. Like it, the game allows for a lot of diverse play styles.
Yeah,
And we were saying earlier that that's one of the things that the next few games sacrificed. And for the second one, which we'll talk about another day, but for the second one, the play style in that one, they focused more on the combat to make it more fluid, which I personally enjoyed. I think they perfected the combat and perfected the diversity of a play style. Whereas with Inquisition, they sacrificed more of that diversity because you can only have so many things on your toolbar and whatnot for more fluidity and ease of combat. For newer people to the series. So I definitely think the second one is where it's at as far as combat. I don't care for the pause and select style that this game has. Granted, I still love the game, but that's just not a play style that I've favored over the years as I've gotten older.
yeah,
And I feel like it's the same play style that works with KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic.
yeah.
The exact same. It's literally the exact same play
Damn
style.
near. The only difference is that you don't have all your skills listed out. You have to like
Yeah,
you get three fucking things above their head that you can like go through the down arrows and select which one you need. So if anything, you actually pause. You can play this game without pausing, whereas with Kotar you have to pause in every fight to select what you need.
yeah. Like it's definitely not. Neither of those play styles. They have their place for people who enjoy MMO style fighters, but I feel in a more modern RPG environment that we're currently in, I feel if a remake is ever done in this game, I feel like the original playstyle should be abandoned. I really do. I
Mm-hmm.
think it should be abandoned for the second play style as far as combat goes. Only the combat.
Yeah.
All the rest of the RPG elements stay the same. Just the combat. Just change that.
Yeah.
That's my only thing with that.
All right. We're going to the next one, which is going to be the plot. And it's my character slicing the fuck out of the archdemon that I survived because I put a demon baby in Morgan. Uh,
Hmm.
but anyway,
The
so
only respectable choice.
so I'm gonna go through the plot about as fast as I can. This is a very very big game, at least for its time, especially. Like I mean, you got like fucking what? At least I did the whole game and DLC in just about like 30 something episodes.
Yeah.
So and that was on all of them. Like most of them were at least an hour. Some of them are more, some of them are less. It's give or take. But
We'll cover the mainline plot. The mainline
yeah.
plot
So the mainline
because the
plot
rest of the DLCs come up.
is this is where it gets cool. So unlike most games, this game you have something called origin stories. So depending on what race you choose and what class you choose, it will put you somewhere. So like for example, I was an elf. My two choices, my I had three choices. If I was a non-magic user, I could either be a Dalish elf, which is elves that live in the forest, or I could be a city elf, which is just basically a really really poor dude because humans are racist. Um, but if you chose a magic, you would start in the magic, circle of magi, which is there because of various reasons. Uh, which that's all
Yeah,
lore, deep
yeah,
lore stuff.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
get
yeah,
into.
yeah, yeah, deep lore stuff.
If you're a human, you start. If you're a human and you're not magical, you only get one start, which is you're basically a noble houseborn. Which between what me and Matt have decided that is the canon because it doesn't matter how many like choices matter type game, you can make any character you want. There's always technically a quote unquote canon person, right? And the canon person in our mind is a human uh fighter, like a human
Highborn,
sword and
yeah,
shield. Yeah.
highborn noble fighter.
Yeah, so and in that one you start in that, and then if shit goes down you get recruited by the Grey Wardens, and they have a circle of magi, which is the same as the fucking elf one. The dwarf is where it
Mhm.
gets cool. So one thing I like about the Dragon Age series is that dwarves cannot use magic whatsoever. And then a consequence because of that, they don't dream. You can only choose. You have two origin stories for the dwarf, which is basically the prince of all of Ozamar, which is like the dwarf city in the game, or you could be basically a lowborn thug. Uh, that's a casteless person. So, and that's more lore stuff. But basically, just know that they're basically exiled almost. They're looked at like trash in those two. But anyway, so in all those origin stories, something happens that involves you meeting Duncan, which Duncan is a badass warrior dude, two-handed sword guy who kills like is just really badass.
Legendary warden.
Yeah,
That's just what he is.
yeah. And then
He is that guy.
so whether he convinces you to join because of whatever reason, usually everything in all those origin story, something happens that is a tragic event and or just you're in trouble and you need help to get out. And Duncan basically recruits you as a character. You get taken to Ostagar, which is the fucking main battle camp. You have to go. You have to basically go kind of like do a couple little errands before you actually get inducted into the wardens. Which then you take a you do something called the joining, and then you end up becoming a warden. Uh, and the wardens have this special ability that allows them to sense darkspawn nearby, and also they can withstand the blood of the darkspawn, so they don't have to worry about dying and becoming a tainted it's a whole thing. Just know that their blood is poison, basically. Uh, and so anyway, the battle last Ostagar happens. This guy named Logain, who is the main general, was supposed to basically come from behind and kill the Darkspawn army. Unfortunately, uh, Logain decides to say, "Haha, I got you," and then left.
Look at decides to be an asshole.
Yeah, he basically like being an asshole. He chickens out. He wants to grab more power, or whatever it may be. It doesn't really
Yeah.
ever it doesn't ever specify. And in fact, I think in some cases later on in the series, Logan will actually make a pretty damn good fucking, you know, reasoning behind leaving. Uh, but anyway, so that Ostagar falls. Shit happens. You end up barely surviving thanks to someone named Flemeth, who is actually prevalent in all three games. She is basically an old witch in this game. She has and she saves you. And Morgan joins your team, which we'll speak more about her, but she know that she's a sexy goth witch lady.
Yeah.
And then and I forgot to mention Alistair's with you at this time too.
Hmm.
And then you go basically to a town of Lothering, just so you can pick up two more characters, and also forgot to mention a dog will meet you on the road, whether you saved him or not. Basically, it's a side quest that you have to do in order to unlock him. Uh, and anyway, so you go about your business, and you have to the Grey Wardens have something called treaties, which they have to go to every major civilization and be like, hey, we need your help to fight this blight because the Darkspawn are coming and they've got an archdemon and they're gonna basically destroy everything and corrupt it all. So they depending on what you can at this point in time you can choose where you want to go first. I usually try to start with a Circle of Magi because I'm always a magic dude. But if you go to the Circle of Magi, basically you have to go through the tower, fight a boss or two until you get to the very, very top of the tower where you find out that uh, basically a bunch of blood magic users, which is basically dark magic users, have taken over the tower and have turned everybody into demons and are killing the tower, and it's a whole thing. You gotta fight the dude and you win, obviously, because otherwise you would be dead. And then this is where something about the game too is that you can always make a decision, and the decision will actually it will affect the final battle. And you can either decide to wipe out all the mages in the tower, and you will have a bunch of Templars that will fight for you, anti-magic users, or you could save the tower, and then you get some mages to fight for you, so they can sling some big ass spells. After that, where do you go, Matt? You can explain the next one.
We'll go with the elves.
Yeah, go for
So
it.
you go to now. Keep in mind, you can go to any group in any order. That's one of the nice things about the game is you aren't required to follow any path in particular. But for this particular one, we'll say we go to the elves. So you go to the elves. It's a Dalish elves, and they ask you to help with dealing with a werewolf problem. You basically go through the woods. You discover that, oh, turns out the werewolves are there because of fucking, you know,
The,
messing around by the Dalish
yeah, the
and messing
keeper.
around by the humans.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this means that the humans aren't always bad, but the elves aren't always good either. And you're like, you have to make a choice, which involves either forgiving the werewolves, healing them, or killing them off. Like you can do all kinds of things.
Yeah, two of
Think,
those choices will revolve around you getting a bunch of Dalish support, and then the other one will give you werewolf support.
yeah, and I think you cured them for your playthrough.
Yeah, I cured him for mine. I went through the canon, which I think
Hmm.
the canon choice for the mage tower, because I forgot to mention that earlier, is saving the mages, and the canon
I
choice.
think that I'm pretty sure the canon choice is pretty much a good playthrough all the way through.
Yeah, so you save the
because your
mages.
guy
Yeah,
because your guy is supposed to be the quote unquote hero of this entire you know country. So
yeah. The only one I'm not sure which one's the good playthrough is the dwarves, which I'll take over the next
it's
one.
it's the non the what is he, steward? He's a steward.
There's a Baymont.
Yeah, Baemon.
Is it? I always thought
Yeah,
because yeah,
yeah. It is not the original. It is not
not the
the
prince.
noble.
Yeah.
It is not the prince. The
Okay.
prince is because the prince, if you follow the origin story for one of the dwarves, he betrays his brother.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for the next one, I like I said, we'll go to dwarves. The dwarves are I find that to be the longest one. That's simply because of the fact you get there, you come to find out that the king has died, which you'll know that if you had played the noble playthrough. Uh, and now it's in between. Basically, they have to elect a new king, and it should have gone to the prince, but because the steward, which we talk is Baymont, he was like, hold on a second, like the fucking the king wanted me to be king. He didn't think so and so was ready to be king. Yada yada yada. So now that they got this two argument, you have to make a decision on who you want to support for the king. And once you make the decision, because they're not gonna they refuse to send anybody out until they have a king basically. And so once you make that decision on which one you're going to allow into power, you have to do a couple things for them, which involves fighting in an arena, and then also wiping out a bunch of fucking cartel members. Uh, After that, uh, they tell you that in order to actually make an honest to goodness decision in their like ministry or whatever, you have to go find a paragon to give you the answer.
Probably one of
And
my more favorite quests.
yeah, so and that involves having to go through a bunch of deep roads, and it takes a hot minute to get to the very, very end. You got to fight a bunch of stuff. You actually find out how Darkspawn are birthed, which is crazy, and also very, very grim dark. Which we'll talk more about the design for the game, and that'll definitely be brought up.
Hmm.
I enjoyed the grim dark series. It's disgusting, but I mean, like, I enjoyed grim dark not to Origin Dark Dragon
Yeah,
Age
yeah,
Origins,
yeah. I
not
enjoy
40k.
Grimdark to this extent.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
enjoy the 40k dark
Well,
grim dark, but
I
like
I enjoy Grimdark that has hope at the end, not Grimdark where there
everything just
basically is
sucks.
no hope.
Yeah,
Yeah, everything sucks. It's going to suck. It's going to keep sucking. I'm
yeah,
not interested in that.
yeah.
Real world is dark enough for all that. I don't need that that in my life as well.
Anyway, you get to the very end where you finally find fucking Bronca, which is one of the main, which is we'll talk about it again or later on, which is one of the companions, Ogren's wife. Turns out she's went crazy because she's trying to find something called an anvil, which is where basically you're able to make like golems, because the ancient dwarves had an army of golems that basically were quote unquote non-human, or they weren't alive, they were just robots that went and fought, and they would kill a bunch of darkspawn and all that jazz. Um, but but when you get to the actual final area where the anvil is, come to find out that Carradine, the one who invented the anvil, has made himself into a golem as well, and he's a big ass metal motherfucker, so he's actually pretty cool. And he wants to destroy the anvil, He can't touch it, so he's stayed there for thousands of years since the first blight, and he's trying to get the anvil to destroy because it involves basically taking the soul of any person that they're trying to make into one. And it was a whole greedy, like ancient kings got greedy as fuck, and they were trying to make a bunch of them. Uh, but basically, to choose in between those two, and this is where the choice will come up, whether or not you get dwarves to help you in the final battle, or whether you get the golems to help you in the final battle. Uh, and the canon choice for this one is to destroy the anvil, and which involves you having to kill Bronca. Carradine will make you a crown, which you can give to whoever you supported, which apparently the canon is for Behemoth, which I chose as well in this playthrough. And then after that, you have the dwarf support. And after that, Matt, we take it away.
I think the very last one is fucking red.
Yeah, Redcliffe.
What's Redcliffe? Yeah. So you get to Redcliffe, and this is the humans side. You are there to recruit from what's it called? Ale. What's his name?
It's Arl.
Arl. Yeah, he's an
Or
Arl.
Eamon.
Arl.
Eamon.
Yeah, Arl Eamon. So, so he's like a count basically, but he's in charge of this area. He had taken his army and whatnot. So you get into the town. It's the town's already dealing with darkspawn still.
Not Darkspawn.
So
It's the undead. Remember?
is it not darkspawn?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
the
just a bunch of
undead.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
that's right. Yeah. So this the town's under constant attack apparently from the undead, and they have no clue why it's under attack from the undead. They're just like, oh, this it just started happening, and all of a sudden you're like, all right. So you eventually fight off several waves of undead, and finally get into the actual keep itself, where you learn the reason why the undead are popping up is because the son of the wife and Arl Eamon there is actually possessed by a demon.
hooray.
Yeah,
And
hooray,
the
demons!
reason why he's possessed by a demon is because Arl Eamon
He's
has
a
been
mage.
Arl Eamon has been well, he's a mage, but also Arl Eamon has been poisoned, and the son was trying to heal him and was basically seduced
Yeah, and
by a disease. Yeah,
yeah, got seduced by a demon
a sexy
in order
demon.
to help. Yeah, sexy demon, a lust demon, in order to help his father. You know, all perfectly noble choices. You end up having to choose between killing the boy, saving the boy, letting the boy stay possessed.
Hmm.
Good choice is to basically free the boy and destroy the demon
Yeah, and you can
and keep the
and
boy alive.
there's like two different ways to do it. You could sacrifice the mother, or you can go back to the mage tower to get a bunch. Basically, if you have to clear out the mage tower first to be able to do this, but you get the mages to come and start the ritual
Yeah.
up.
So you do all that. You end up actually, you if you make the good decision, you save the mother, you save the boy, you clear the demon out, and you're like, yippee, we've done it. But Arl Eamon is still sick, and you don't know why. So you're like, well, so what are our choices to heal the Arl in order to get his help? So they send you after the religious icon. The religion in this world is
uh,
Andraste.
yeah,
So,
is that what they
which is
call it?
what I don't know if it's what
I
they're
think no,
called.
I think it's called the chantry. It's
That's what they,
literally just called the chantry. So
well, it's the
yeah.
well, it's called the chantry. Yeah, the chantry or the church. That's what it is. It's the church worships Andraste. Well, there have been rumors of Andraste's ashes, aka when she was cremated, and those are ashes, and that they'll heal anybody. So you're told about this. You're like, all right, I'm gonna go after those things in order to heal Arl Eamon. I'll be right back, guys. You you skedaddle on over to this mountain range, which contains the the urn for the ashes.
You gotta go through a
You
bunch of shit in the dragon though.
Yeah, you got to go through all kinds of shit just to get through all that. You eventually and you get the choice. You can either destroy the ashes or
Which
you can keep the ashes. You can use them for yourself, I think.
no, I think so. I remember you can
Yeah,
get the
no,
berserker from there or whatever.
yeah, you can use them for yourself. I don't remember exactly what it does,
Mm.
but it's all kinds of things. You could choose to hide the location and never let anyone know where it is again. Yada yada yada. You choose to keep you choose to keep them there. You choose to let everyone know it's there, and you bring back some ashes for all Eamon. It cures him. He wakes up. You have secured the human support for the final bit, which is to, to go after Logain and fucking in a where you gather all the nobles together in order
It'll
to take
yeah
him to court,
yeah
essentially.
the lands meet is what they call it.
Yeah, the
'Cause-
lands meet.
So basically, you get to lands meet. You're like, yo, Logain, you're an asshole, and Logain's like, everything I do is for Ferelden, kind of like Donzo's ass. Um,
Yeah,
but he's also like, he. It's hard to say that he was in the wrong, only because of the fact if you listen to him and actually talk to him, uh,
but it's like listening to a narcissist.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Also, he also
He
says,
really he believes he's correct, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, he literally admits, "I believe that the previous king who was his literal nephew." He
mm-hmm,
was like, "I believed my nephew was fucking weak. I don't think he could have ruled for Eldon, and so I think I'm gonna do a better job." He
yeah.
just wanted power at the
I
end of the
mean,
day.
yeah, but like at the same time, if you listen to him, like he makes a
As I
pretty
said, yeah,
compelling
yeah.
argument.
His argument is sound if it wasn't for the fact that he
Yeah,
sacrificed
100%.
an entire army. He didn't just sacrifice his nephew. He sacrificed the entire original army that they had. And said to himself, "Nah, I know we need as many troops as possible to fight back the Darkspawn, but what if I just sacrificed our whole original army so that I can take the crown and then control Ferelden?" Nah, the man was a jackass through and through.
Yeah, so
It,
basically, so this is where you can kind of sort of make a decision as well as at the end of the line mate, you kick his ass because you end up having to duel him. You can choose to duel him, or you can let Alistair duel him, and Alistair has a very personal interest. He wants to fuck. It's a whole thing.
Mhm.
He
Yeah, we'll
really
get to that
respected
one.
Duncan, though. Just know that.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to that one when we get through all the characters.
Yeah, but and then you have you can if you spare him, usually people will make him into a warden basically. And if you make him into the warden, the option of killing the darkspawn and or having uh Morgan with a demon baby can fall onto him as well. Obviously, I'm not gonna fucking like get cucked in this game, so I killed him. But yeah, so I ended up killing him, and I believe actually the canon choice
I
is
think Alistair is letting Alistair fight it out with
I
him.
I
Like
want
I
to
really do.
yeah, I think
I
so too.
like it makes too much sense story wise surrounding his relationship with him,
Mhm.
and for Alistair not to have fought the final battle against Logain.
Mhm. All right. So then you have everyone together. And then fucking you're in the city of Dinram, and then bam, out of nowhere, when you have everyone finally gathered and everything, the Darkspawn are like, okay, we're now that you guys have the armor, we're gonna attack you. Where are your armies at? So like,
Yeah,
and then the city of Dinram falls into chaos, and then come to find out there was a warden that was hidden at basically he was arrested because they hate Grey Wardens or the Logain hated Grey Wardens. Anyway, you free him, and then he tells you how you're supposed to kill a darkspawn, which involves basically when you kill them. The reason darkspawn are so feared and why only Grey Wardens can kill them is because when you kill the Grey Warden, their essence goes into the nearest darkspawn. But because you, as a warden, are not a darkspawn, but you have the essence of a darkspawn in you from the joining ritual, it will try to go into your soul and basically self detonate into it. Because it's like
and
a
and kills you both.
yeah, it kills you
It'll
both
fucking
basically.
yeah kill you both.
So
So
it's
it'll
literally a
it'll
sacrificial thing.
yeah always a self sacrifice whenever a warden kills off the
Archdemon.
the archdemon.
Uh, anyway, so the archdemon's dead. Depending on your choices, you live to see the day, and all your friends live to see the day. And hooray, you are now basically I think you're announced the warden commander of Ferelden.
Yeah, you are the warden commander and the hero of Ferelden.
Yep. and that's the whole plot. As fast as we can go.
Yippee!
We really could have gotten more nitty gritty in depth, but
Oh,
I
we,
don't feel
oh,
like.
we could we could go hours explaining every little fucking bit about every single faction, every single plot point,
Oh yeah.
but
Uh,
that's the overarching plot.
yep. All right, now we're gonna go into the design, and yes, you're asking that I am using PowerPoint, and I also used this picture as the design photo.
I love not just because of her. I love the artistic design of this game. For when it came out, they had no reason why this should have looked so damn good and artistic. Look at the art. Look at just. We'll start from right to left in this photo here.
hmm
Look at how you're. Look at the details on a literal shirt.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
that's at the
how it.
lowest settings, if I'm not mistaken. I think I had the
Yeah,
lowest settings for this one.
yeah. Like this is you're wearing wizard robes in this.
hmm
And it's just a basic cloth. It looks well designed. It looks royal. It looks unique. And then you move on over to the demon. Every single demon is based off of one of the
They're
deadly sins.
they're the sins, but not the sins. Does
Yeah,
that make
yeah, yeah,
sense? Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, but they're basically the sins.
Yeah, they're basically sins. So in this particular demon sin is, if you couldn't guess it, lust.
I mean, yeah, her name is specifically she's a desire demon, but
Yeah, she,
it's basically
yeah,
lust.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She is, or desire, or lust.
hmm
But
Which I think actually is a clever way to do desire because that way the demon
mhm,
can encompass way more than
yeah,
like
it
it's
encompasses
like oh
way more
it's
than lust.
actually I think if I'm not mistaken I think it's because they don't have an envy demon. Wait, no, they do. I think like they do have an
They
envy
do.
demon. Yeah,
No, they
but
do.
you see it in Inquisition
But
though.
desire, lust doesn't mean sex. In the Old Testament and whatnot, it means that. It means desire.
hmm
That. Oh, I need to send this off.
But
Send that.
yeah, but the design in general, like especially the
For,
archetype, the architecture for a lot of the places and stuff like that, like the
mhm.
dwarves and the fucking
Oh yeah,
the
I was,
delves,
I was, oh, yeah, I was talking about that in our Dragon
Dragon
Age
Age game.
2
Yeah.
Dragon Age 2 playthrough that we were doing. The fact that you could present to me any of the architecture of one of the worlds in this place, and I can almost tell you exactly whether it is human, whether it's Ferelden, whether it's Kirkwallish, whether it's
Yeah,
a
free march.
Tevinter one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you whether it was a dwarven one. I can tell you whether it was an elven one. Uh, I shouldn't be that invested in knowing all the
Especially,
architecture
especially,
in a game.
especially the human ones, because because
Yeah,
yeah, there's always a difference between dwarf,
yeah,
elves,
yeah,
and
yeah.
human.
Dwarves, elves, and humans. Yeah,
But
that's
like
always
whenever
there.
you have like three different types of like of a human architecture that you can be like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
that's this, and that's this, and they're all the
Like
same
like
race.
yeah, that's dedication to the
Yeah,
craft,
that's
and
culture.
I I love that shit. Like I like you play most typical RPG these days, and it takes place in a fantasy universe. The humans, they all look the same. All of
hmm
their buildings look the same. You're gonna be like, okay, yeah, this is still the same. I know these are two different kingdoms I've gone to, but their architecture looks exactly the same, excluding whenever they go to desert people.
Yeah, like
Whenever they
desert
go to the
or
fucking
ice
desert, they're
people.
like, or ice people,
There has to be a
but it's
significant change in environment for it to be
yeah,
different.
yeah. In order for you to get a whole architecture change, but that's what I'm saying. Like they were very good with the art direction in this game,
hmm
which it finally falls on the last bit of that thing there, the Templar standing there. Like you look at his armor design, and it looks fantasy. It
hmm
looks unique. Like
The big ass shoulder
I
guards. Yeah.
Yeah, big ass shoulder guards. His gauntlets look good. His chest plate uh, signifies who and what he represents. He
The
has
robes over his legs. Yeah.
the long robes over his legs. Like every bit of the design in this game is grimdarkish, and it fits everything.
The enemy
Like
designs were also very well done as well.
yes,
I think uh I think I prefer the designs for the enemies the most in this game, like all around. I think that there for some like for Dragon Age 2, there was a couple enemy designs, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like that's a little bit of a downgrade. And then same with for Inquisition and Velgard. There's always like some, but for this one, I've never had any issues with the design for some of these enemies.
No,
Uh,
I've never.
yeah, like because especially like I mean, like besides the fact that like you're gonna have a lot of the same enemies. I feel like that's probably the
Yeah, yeah.
only thing.
I mean that's just you play any game. That's just kind of the sacrifices you make when you're playing a video game. Like you're
Uh,
gonna have similar any enemy fucking NPCs and all that. That happens.
yeah.
Doesn't it doesn't make me too sad.
No. I will say that another design that was done was the fact that something that they got rid of in the later series is changing out the clothes of your companions, like
Hmm.
because it's upset. Like I get why they did it because you have somebody like Morgan who's got this fucking badass outfit, right?
Yes,
And
and then
then, but
and then
it's
you
so
get the better clothing, and you're like, and it's just like a fucking
a robe.
stupid robe, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
well, that kind of takes away from it. It's one of the things that I think two did really well, where in the beginning half of each act, they have a certain look about them, and then in the next act, they're like their clothes improve
Yeah.
and change. Like I don't think that happens for every single character in the second one, and I don't think it happens per act. But
Mm-mm.
that's actually what I would prefer is per act. Like they only get like three outfits during the whole game that you could
Yeah.
like choose the menu if you so wanted to. I want it to be like, oh, it went from this to this to this. So
Yeah.
down. So yes, they got better gear, but they look better too.
Other than that though, what else design? Oh yeah, so the class design. So we were talking about
Hmm.
archetypes earlier. So
Oh yes,
basically,
that's right.
yeah. So basically, so for the warrior, you have three archetypes. Which is champion, reaver, and templar, and all three of them can be if you have a party member that happens to have that specific type of archetype, you can fucking learn it from them if you have their approval high enough.
Hmm.
If and if you obviously you can get it. Or you could buy a book somewhere in the game that'll that allow you to unlock it, but it usually costs a decent amount of money. Or the last one is there are certain quests and stuff like that you can do for some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Like for example, the Reaver we were saying earlier, you can unlock the Reaver if you destroy the Andraste's ashes. Same with the Mage, which is what I did in the game, is that I found a crystal that allowed me to learn the fucking Arcane Warrior archetype for the Mage. Uh, but yeah, so basically the champion is all about boosting your friends. The party, the Reaver is all about boosting you, and the Templar is all about basically shutting down mages. And then you have the mage archetype, which are spirit healer, arcane warrior, and shapeshifter. Shapeshifter is something that's special to Morgan, but you can learn it from her. Arcane warrior, like I said, you find it in a fucking crystal, and spirit healer is something that is actually Win is someone you can learn it from. Win obviously is or not Win, but spirit healer is obviously about healing everyone in the party and yourself. And you also get the revive spell, which if you watch my later episodes, or especially when I'm fighting the fucking archdemon, and you see me shooting out those fucking spells and everything, I was like, get the fuck back up! I need you to take damage for me. But and then the arcade warrior is a very unique class in my opinion because it allows you to cast spells and everything, uh, while also having like heavy armor and sword and shield. Because the more basically every armor and stuff like that has something called weight, which is a cool design as well. Because the more weight you have, the more your abilities cost. If that makes any sense. That's why most mages are wearing super light clothes and stuff like that, so it doesn't cost a fuck ton to cast their spells. But with Arcane Warrior, it makes all the requirements to wear stuff like that to go from strength and constitution to magic, uh, and it allows you to basically wear the heavy ass shit. and if you build it correctly, which I was not able to do, unfortunately, you can kick. Well, you mean you could basically be swinging a big ass, heavy ass sword while also fucking shoot lightning bolts. And then you have shapeshifter, which is a lot basically just straight up just transforming into different animals, which is very fun and cool. I like also I'm gonna speak on these two real quick before I let Matt take over for rogues because that's his shit. But also the different skills and skill trees you have in every class, which for mages you have like four different skill trees you can choose from. Uh, and same with warrior and rogue, and they all do different shit. Like you can make yourself an elementalist, you can make yourself a fucking a straight healer. You can make yourself, basically like a control mage, and or you can do a half and half and uh 50-50 with everything. And the same goes for the for the weapon wielders. They usually they have trees that are specific for their weapons that they're maining in. And anyway, Matt could explain more about the rogues.
I don't remember all the classes. I remember one of them being assassin at least.
It was assassin, ranger, and fucking damn. What is the last one?
What is that last one? Spell mage? Some sort of spell
No,
mage? I want to
no,
say
there were no. That's D and D.
spellblade.
No, that's D and D.
Mm.
Just explain the assassin and the
The assassin was just all damage. Like it's all damage, no breaks. Just as any typical assassin build in any game. It's very quick, very shadowy magic almost feeling. Like you're moving all around the battlefield. It's a very simple class. It's also very fun if you just want your straight damage as a rogue. It's what I usually go. Ranger is fun. Ranger is, finally gives some good love for that ranged rogue class, and it lets you actually summon animal companions for fighting. It could feel very druidish.
bard.
Yeah, is it a bard?
Yeah,
Oh yes, it involves you know as bards do. It involves more or less fucking buffing your team and keeping them fucking powered up and whatnot.
and a duelist actually. Oh shit, I forgot there was four of them.
A
Oh man,
swashbuckler. That's what it is. A swashbuckler. The
no,
duelist.
no, it was a duelist.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. It, which is basically swashbuckling. Uh, it's very much uh, you're very quick, you're dodging shit all the time, but you're still up in the face.
oh yeah, okay. And for the warrior, it's berserker, which you can learn from Ogren. And then you have blood mage, which is basically like if you run out of magic, you can activate your blood mage and cast spells from your health pool instead of your mana pool. But other than that, though, I mean, those are all subclasses. So the basically the class design itself, the weapon design is honestly kind of I want to say kind of basic for a lot of the weapons, but I mean like there's not much you can really do. Sword and shield, two-handed sword, bow and arrows, double daggers, fucking and magic staffs. I mean like that's I mean like that's there's not much you can really do for those designs. I do like the metal that they use. So for basically, how you have tiers. For most games, it goes like it starts off of like fucking iron weapons, and then it goes to fucking steel weapons, and so on and so forth. Well, Dragon Age itself has its own material tier list. If that makes any sense. And I thought that was very cool and a very nice design touch and stuff like that. To basically where they made their own. There you got Silvertite, you got fucking think what else do we have, Matt?
No, I mean
Red
that covers
Iron,
pretty much. Yeah, red iron. Yeah.
shit like that. And then I also like the fact that they made their own religion for the game as well. Like,
Yes.
especially if they're gonna have like it's a huge part of the game, the chantry, and it really helps with the whole world building aspect. On it too. I mean, which I get they had to make it because of the fact that they have some quests that involve the chantry in general, but like they didn't have to go in so in depth about it.
No, they could have left it bare bone as fuck. They could have made it the chantry typically evil, like you get in a lot of
They could
games.
have just straight made the fucking just call it the church, like or what I mean. They didn't have to
Yeah.
come up, specifically a whole ass different religion. I mean, to be fair, But they start like they made it from the get go. Like the whole reason why, like even in the very opening cutscene, which by the way, the cutscenes whenever they do the whole where it's like basically like a storybook looking thing, that I love the shit out of those designs as well. But from the very get go in the very opening, they literally state that the whole reason why the blights exist is because six jackasses said, "Hey, we want to go see God." And but we don't want
Yeah.
to we don't want to die for it. We're basically literally they were just trying to discover heaven, and when they got
No, they were
there.
trying to no, they were trying to take over
Oh,
heaven.
oh yeah, that too. Whatever. The
Yeah,
point is
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
they
They were trying to take heaven's seat. They were like, what if I became fucking the representative god up here?
but
At first they were trying to work for their individual fucking evil gods that they were working for and put them on the seat. And then when they got there, fucked everything up. They were like, you know what? What if I stayed here? What if I was God?
yeah, and then they got fucking cast out of it at some point in time.
Yeah.
Which it's all lore dump stuff like that. But still, it's the fact that like the way they designed their entire world in itself was just great. Uh, I also like the design for traveling. It makes you without it being because it's not an open world game, but it makes you feel that open world aspect because you have these big old maps, but you travel on a world map. Just click to it and you will go to it. So, but yeah, I like it. I think that's it for design though. You got anything else you want to talk about design?
Nope.
All right, I feel like we're
I
fucking
think we
taking up a
did
lot of
good
time.
there. Yeah.
Now we get
Yeah,
into the
we did
nitty
good
gritty.
there.
This is gonna be an hour long, boy. If you guys are still paying attention, then you get ready because we're about to get into the fucking
Even
companions
more.
next. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So the companions right here in this photo. As you can tell, it's very low quality, but that's my character, the warden. Uh, we have other characters there, which we'll get to in a second. But basically, the warden. We already described his entire plot. Specifically, my plot story was because it's really the only thing we can talk about the warden is I was a circle mage and I
Yeah.
was a jackass. It's basically the best I can describe. That was the warden
What
for me.
what I enjoy is that your warden it allows for very diverse playstyle. Not only in combat, not only in character creation, but in choices. You can be evil as your warden. You can be an asshole. You can be a good guy. You can be something in between. You can be an elf, a dwarf, a human, a male, a female. And you can design that look to feel what you want. The warden is a great blank protagonist, and it allows you to really live out a fucking fantasy for
Yeah,
yourself.
they did really good with the blank template for Inquisitor as well. Whereas like with Dragon Age 2, it was you were stuck in the shoes of a human trying to escape from the blight,
Hmm.
which isn't
Isn't bad.
terrible.
Hawk is a good character in his
Yeah,
own right.
yeah, he and it's not even you could be a female hawk too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
I rarely did it though because of the fact of like uh
it doesn't feel
I just yeah
Hawk
because
doesn't feel natural as a female. It's
yeah.
like no matter how many times I see it, no matter how many times I experience it.
Well, female hawk was hot. Don't get me wrong, but like
No, yeah, no, she's hot as fuck, but
yeah,
but
she
she
makes
doesn't
me she makes me
feel.
yeah she makes me feel like it's Morgan actually, just like
Yeah,
yeah, like
no,
the way she
literally.
looks at least.
Yeah, like female Hawk is a fucking heartthrob, but she doesn't feel like the canon character there. But
Yeah,
that's for that later.
yeah,
But what I enjoy from your warden is that they respect your character, at least for the first three games. We're not talking about the fourth one.
yeah.
To,
We don't talk about that one.
well, yeah, but your character's lore, your warden feels important. He feels good. He feels fucking
Yeah, even
or
whenever
she.
when the third game
Yeah,
happens,
even by the third game.
they're still
Uh,
looking and they're like, hey, we need the warden. We need
Yeah,
we need the champion, which is the main character of the second game.
yeah, yeah. Well, we need these characters, and your warden, if you keep them alive, uh, will literally send a letter being like, "Hey, busy at the moment, trying to deal with a bunch of dark spawn
Yes,
bullshit."
single handedly stopping the fucking eighth blight. Give me a moment. Like, like
Yeah, Like your character is respected. That
Uh,
that respect is gone in the fourth game. Don't. That's a whole other reason
yeah,
for me to hate on it.
they don't even mention the warden from what I've played. I didn't even get through the
Yeah,
entire game, but
because they have such zero respect for legacy characters. But your character's legacy is respected in this game. I think
uh
we can move to the next one now.
yeah, all right. So we'll go with Morgan next because she's my boo.
hmm
Um, obviously, I mean just look at her. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So basically,
literal witch goth mommy.
yeah, I know. That was before they were cool too, which is the best part.
Yeah,
That was like you had to like most people went with Liliana because of it, you know. But like there's Morgan, easy as fuck to get, but hard to get close to, which made the romance, in my opinion, with her so
better.
much more
Yeah,
better because it
made
was
it better.
like yeah, there was this physical connection, easy as fuck. Literally, you guys, Morgan don't give a fuck. She never did. She saw you were attractive or whatever, male or female, because I believe you can do female as well. And she just wants to smash, easy as pie. But it's when your character makes those steps to get closer and stuff like that, and you really got to break down those walls and shit like that. Even because I think it's even like because even when you have max affection, she like
You
is
still
constantly she's
you
constantly fighting the feelings, but
Yeah,
she even if she feels it.
she fights the feelings because she doesn't think that she doesn't want to feel that way.
Yeah,
One,
and
she wants to use you. Two, she wants to fucking, you know, be a heartless bitch. That's what she wants to be. But
yeah, but it's hard. But because your character's made this connection, it's hard for her to get away because
yeah,
she
Mo- Morgan is literally the I can fix her girl.
100%. And you
But you
do,
actually can.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
you
you
do.
can.
But I mean, she's still like, which we'll get into the end of the game or after the game in a bit, mainly because of the fact she literally has a whole DLC for her. But so Morgan is basically she was, I'm assuming, found as a baby or kidnapped as a baby, or even hell, maybe even had been conceived by Flemeth herself. But basically, she's raised up to, in her opinion, and also the evidence that she has found to basically be the new body of the Witch of the Wilds. But she doesn't know this when she first leaves. She leaves because Flemeth is like, take your mangy ass out of here. And then once you get through the game and you find Flemeth's book in the Circle of Magi, you find out more information. I mean, you have to go kill Flemeth so that she can be safe from her body being taken. Uh, and like I said, I mean, her in general, her personality in general is just very. I mean, not to mention the fact. Oh, I love having Alistair and Morgan in a party together. Fucking love it.
Oh, they're so good.
It's so
One of the
catty.
thing one of the things in this game truly is the companion and how they interact with each other. They have their own personalities and they clash. They don't get along.
Yeah, Morgan and
They're
Alistair do not get along.
Yeah, they do not
But
get along.
they get
They
along, but they
respect
don't.
each they respect each other by the end of the journey, but at the beginning, they don't like each other. They don't.
They're almost like brother and sister sometimes when I fucking hear them. On some
Yes,
of the conversations, they really feel
it
sibling.
feels really good.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough about Morgan. We're gonna get on to Alistair. Alistair is another good character, really solid character. I mean, not only in
Yes.
playstyle, but also in just personality and his back. Like everything about him is a very good. Like
Yes.
genuinely, if the warden didn't exist, he would have been the main character because of just how he is.
And he would have
And
carried the game because he would have
yeah,
been funny.
yeah, 100%. I mean, he wouldn't have carried the game though because that's actually one of the DLCs. Is what would happen if the
hmm
warden didn't exist. But he would get to the end. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, Warden's a funny guy. He's very like snarky. He's very catty. Uh, like I said, he has great relationships. He has great relationships with almost every character. Uh, with the exception of a few, in those that he doesn't have good relationships with, he's very like snarky and catty to them, which is funny as fuck. Um, and so it comes to find out that his father is actually the previous king, not Kalen, which is Kalen is his half brother, and Kalen's the one that falls at Asgard. But he ended up joining the Templar Order when he was younger, for various reasons I can't really remember off the top of my head. His mother was a random maid that the king decided saw her walking past and was like, "Damn, that bitch has got a fat ass." And but he joins the Templar Order, and then I guess something had happened in the Templar Order, and Duncan came around, and he joined the Wardens after that, and he'd been, I think he was a Warden for like a year before.
Yeah, he's not hasn't been a warden for long, but he's been a warden longer.
Yeah, so
He
and
is the senior warden,
he is
technically.
he is he is the Warden's the hero for Eldon's best friend. Now the cool
Yes.
thing about his background is the fact that when you go through it, there are three things that can happen. So if you don't do the side quest, which is basically harden your heart, which is basically his half sister from his mother's side. If you don't do like if you don't harden his heart, then he'll end up basically kind of sort of becoming he has a chance of becoming a drunk and just kind of like going from town to town, and he'll even make an appearance in the second game, like just wallowing his sorrows away at a fucking bar. Um, you can also, or you can make him the king, and you can make him the king alone, and he'd have to basically run the entire the country, and he's not happy about it no matter what. If you try to make him a king, or he could be, king with a Queen of Nora, which was his half brother's wife, who's also the daughter of Logain, and yeah, it's a whole fucking like it's very messy politically, but yeah, I mean, basically, he's the face and the charisma of the world. And like another thing about him is that like he doesn't really have moments to shine when it comes to being a leader. But once he takes on the mantle of being a king, you can see that his leadership and his charisma to lead the country starts shining through the more and more he speaks and makes speeches in general. Ugh. You want to talk about Liliana?
Liliana, I enjoy. I would say Liliana definitely shines more in the in Inquisition than she does here.
Mm-hmm.
But Liliana is your at first little bard girl. You're like, oh, she has something to do with the Chantry, but you're not really sure. And you learn she's more of a spy type. She is a you know an agent of the Chantry. She is secretly working for them and whatnot. And her whole deal is trying to help out with you. She's a goody two shoes, but at the same time, she like is struggling like with her religion and stuff like that. So as you're going through with her, you can really, you know, start to enjoy her character.
Oh yeah, don't forget the whole
Liliana
reason why.
is
Don't forget the whole
the
reason why she joined was because she saw a vision from the maker.
yeah. She saw a vision and she was like, "Hey, I got a vision. I gotta help you guys. I touched rocks and I fucking you know got
I,
I saw your face. Okay,
I
all
forgot to touch
right,
I forgot to touch grass for about 15 minutes, and I fucking could have
yeah,
sworn I saw a vision, the god, a light telling me, "Hey, go help this guy."
yeah. Go help that dude. All right." But Liliana is a great romance option. She is the next main romance option after Morgan,
Mhm.
and the only reason Morgan gets more is because Morgan is the goth mommy. If
Mhm.
Morgan who wasn't who she was, Liliana is the easy pick
Well, yeah,
for
because
romance.
another thing about him is that she's opposite. It takes a very long time
Yep,
for you to get basically
get with
at
her.
that
Yep, yeah.
level with her.
You have to put in the work.
Yeah, and is another thing. Canon wise, I believe canon. We've already discussed this. Canon wise, is Morgan, is
Is Morgan?
yeah.
Yep, because of the whole demon baby.
And the reason why a lot of people chose Morgan anyway, even disregarding the fact that like she's the canon option, the main reason why a lot of 12-year-olds that played this game, like myself, chose Morgan was the fact that she put out fast. Like,
hmm
like, and then we got the sex scene and we were like, oh my god, oh that's so cool. Oh, I see bra. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I see. I see, bro. I actually see less skin than I do in her regular outfit.
that's always so fucking funny to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else about her, or you want to keep going?
No.
All
No.
right.
Liliana is a great. You just have to dig through her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with all the characters in this game. All of them are good. They really are. You might have to dig for some of them, but they are more or less great. I say that, and then our next one we're going on is Sten.
Yeah. Well, this is all the other characters, and you'll notice in the corner I also put Logan. But we're
Yeah.
gonna
There's
go.
there's a reason why we put every other character on one slide
And then we have these
because
guys.
yeah, because that's how that feels.
Dog is dog. You can
Do-
name the dog anything you want, but dog is
You get
dog. He
yeah,
has,
dog is dog. He
I
has
mean,
no story. Like
he's
his
well, he
story
has a
is
story.
all
Is yeah,
at fucking at fucking what's that place called?
uh, Ostagar.
Ostgar. All of his story involves Ostgar.
Well, no, no, no.
Enjoy.
If you are human noble, you'll get the dog then, and he'll
Really?
come with you. Yeah, yeah. You get the dog in the human noble at the very beginning.
Ah,
But if you're
didn't know that.
not, then you'll get the dog from healing it and all that jazz.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. Like you get to name him. He's your pal. He's your buddy. But that's it.
He has a special
That's
ability
that's
where
that's the whole character. That's it. That's we've covered everything.
I mean, other
Like
than
that's it.
that, he has landmarks he can piss on, and that'll give him a fucking a combat boost in the area that he's in. Other than that, though, I
Hmm.
mean, like that's it.
Yeah, like that's it. So
All right,
like it's
well,
just not special.
we'll do Shale next. She is a DLC companion, which it really is not really a DLC anymore because I don't think you can even buy the undLC'd version of Dragon Age
Yeah,
Origins.
yeah.
So, but she is originally a DLC character, and she's actually like very good. If I had a picture with all five of them together, I would have had her on the previous slide. I actually really enjoyed her as a character. She is basically one of the Carradine. Remember we talked about Carradine earlier. She is actually one of the dwarves that volunteered in the original 100 to become a golem. She ended up losing all of her memory and everything, and was basically abandoned in the deep roads until a wizard found her and then basically chiseled her down to a manageable size. And basically she was frozen. She was controlled, and she ended up killing the wizard, and then she got frozen again in the middle of the village, and then you eventually, free her from her predicament. She joins you, and she's got very dry humor, and is very like she hates birds, and I love that shit about it because like you'll be like leaving the fucking village that she was in, and you'll hear a fucking squashing noise and behind you. You'll see a bunch of feathers because she just killed three birds. She was like, "Fuck those
Yeah,
guys."
she killed pigeons because they used to shit on her.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
funny as fuck. All right, and then we have
Sten.
Ogren. No, I was gonna go to Ogren next.
Okay. I see which way you're going. Ogren. I don't hate Ogren. I really like his. He is typical grumpy dwarf. That is
Nasty
who
dwarf.
his archetype is.
He's
Yeah, he
also a
is
nasty dwarf.
grumpy. Yeah, he is a grumpy, nasty dwarf. Like he isn't very special. He's not. He doesn't have a ton going on with him. Most of his thing involves the wife running off and shit. That's his big thing.
I mean, he's got like a personal side quest or whatever, which I should have mentioned that earlier about all the side quests. Morgan's side quest is the Flemeth Diary, which I talked about. Alistair's
Yeah,
side
going after her
quest,
mother.
yeah,
You're
Alistair's
going after
side
her
quest
mother.
is if seeing his half sister. Leona's side quest involves tracking down the person that betrayed her and killing her and or freeing her or saving her or letting her live, whatever.
Hmm.
Shale is finding out more about her past that she forgot, which is how I told you that she was one of the original volunteers. And then
Yeah.
you have Ogren, whose side quest is basically hooking up with an old flame, which is that's his whole thing.
I
Literally just
remember that
yeah.
now.
But yeah, no, Ogren, like you said, Grumpy Dwarf. That's his entire thing. I mean, he's got a major part in the
In the next game,
the
yeah, or
dwarven and also in the
in
DLC
the DLC, he gets a lot more to him. But
Awakening.
for
Yeah,
this game, that's pretty much it. He's really not that
yeah.
big of a character here.
I mean, no, I don't think anybody really likes him either. Like, like nobody,
I
like none of the characters really like because he's like such a. Well, I mean, like because
Yeah,
he'll be
he's a
burp in
little
their
dickhead.
faces. He burps in their faces, like insults them and fucking farts on them all the fucking time. And it's not even a joke. Like, like but I mean, like he's that fucking stereotypical drunk bearded dwarf. That's his whole thing.
Hmm.
And then we
Yep.
get to Sten. Sten, the very first interaction with something known as a Quinari, which you learn way more about in the
Yep.
second game.
Yep.
But
So in the game's universe, you have the humans, you have dwarves, and you have the elves. That's pretty typical. In this universe, they decided to add in one more, which is the Kunari, which is what Sten is.
They're very interesting people, but
Yeah,
there's not in the very first game. You can tell that they had it,
they're not fleshed out.
but
They're not fleshed out
I think they were
hardly at
trying to
all.
go originally for like a subtype of humans that were bigger than everyone else,
Yes, yeah, they were
but
like they were supposed to be like a almost a stony,
giant human,
bigger
yeah,
giant, but it just came off bad, to be honest.
yeah.
It's not that Sten is himself a bad character; it's that his design itself isn't good.
And also the personality that they wanted to give the Qunari and this
Hmm.
game, and also in the second game, because the Qunari are also very stoic and silent in the second game as well. So they don't really feel like people. They almost feel like a hive mind, almost like without the actual connection. Just every single one of them they interact will have the same
which
exact fucking
which kind of
personality.
fits because they are a giant fucking commune, aka bunch of commies.
Yeah.
They
His
are
his side quest is basically he lost his weapon because he was
still getting his
ambushed.
sword back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you got to get his sword back, and that's a whole thing. And then I think that's the most emotion you see is when you give him the sword. I think he like has a little upturned corner of his mouth, and that's about all you get. All right, and
yeah.
then
It's not that he's bad, but he's just boring. There's
mhm.
nothing to him.
Then you have Win, who is a magic user from the Mage College, and you can actually find her at Ostagar. She's actually chilling out by the mage tents. You can talk to her
I
about.
remember that.
She is another one of those what we would call boringish characters. I mean, like her entire thing is that she is a um she is a healer. She's an old woman, and but I think the thing is that she has a spirit attached to her as well because whenever the towers get attacked, she let a spirit in to protect everybody. Other than that, I can't remember her side quest at all.
Yeah, she. It's not that Win is a bad character. Once again, it's that she feels boring.
Yeah, I mean
Like that's just what it is.
she's an old woman. I mean that's just the
Yeah,
fact.
she's an old
She's
woman. You don't care that much about her.
especially if
You're
you're a
just
kid.
like,
So I can't even remember.
yeah,
Only reason why I remember Sten's sword is because I did it as a kid.
hmm
But when I just genuinely cannot remember anything about
no,
her
she
backstory.
she always was just the least interesting character here. She really was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, Win, just don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
We can move to Zevram though.
All right.
Zevram at least is entertaining.
Yeah, Zevran is he's a Dalish assassin that was sent after you by Logain. And you can spare him and he'll join you, but he also still has a chance of betraying you in Dinnerum whenever when you're trying to gather support for Landsmeet. And so it's kind of annoying that if you don't have a decent like if you don't really get up his personality, or if you don't make the right choices in the conversation, and also if you don't have his approval high enough, he will
Hmm.
just straight up try to stab you in the back. Also, Sten
Yeah,
does that same shit. If you don't have his approval high enough, he will try to challenge you for leadership of the fucking party.
yeah. It's fucking annoying.
It
That
only
fucking
happens. It only
asshole.
happens once, but I mean, like, it's like it's out of nowhere, and sometimes you're not even ready for it. I remember the first time it happened to me, I got lucky because I was actually on my way to the Urn of Ashes, and he randomly stopped me. There was another time where we had just gotten jumped because it was like we were ambushed halfway to a fucking point, and we had just started walking, and he was like, bro, 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 and I didn't even have enough chance to fucking heal up or anything, so I fucking ended up having to get in a fucking fight immediately with him. Um,
I think the worst part is that because he was a melee bruiser tank,
yeah.
and I was a squishy rogue. I was like, oh my god, why is he so hard to fight?
Why did I give you such good shit?
Yeah. So if you know it's coming, and if you fail the first time, you load back up, you remove all of his equipment, and you fucking and then you fight him again with nothing, and you're like, yes, bitch,
Know your
I'm
place,
fucking
trash.
prepared. Yeah,
Anyways,
it's
Zevran
fuck.
is Zevran is
Yeah, that's
his whole
some of him
thing
is
is
funny.
yeah, he's
He,
a
he
funny little
he's
dude.
he's the gay,
Well, he's
real
bisexual.
charming suave. Yeah, he's bisexual, but he's very, like, he'll flirt with you. He'll he's a suave assassin kind of guy. He's entertaining,
Yeah,
and
and
if you
through
bring him
him,
along,
like and through him like with Sten, you learn you it's he's because Sten introduces a whole people. Zevron introduces a whole other country. Same with actually Liliana. Liliana also basically kind of sort of gives you
Yeah, with Orlais.
Orlais. He gives with Antivia.
Yeah,
You were trying to say
they,
earlier about Zevran.
yeah. Well, they just introduce different countries and stuff, and it's nice.
Hmm.
They expand the world. They really do. But he's a good character, and he's very witty, and he actually meshes well with the rest of the party if you have him in there.
Yeah, most of them. I don't think Morgan likes him. Same with Alistair.
Keep in mind, I say meshes well as in he'll have funny dialogue.
That's
I
fair.
don't mean they get along. None of these people get along.
um, Actually, surprisingly, Shell and Sting get along really well.
I bet
They're
they do.
Yeah, they
I'm
flirt
sure they
with
have
each
deep,
other.
intelligent conversation.
No, they legitimately flirt with each other at some points. It's actually kind of funny. It's like the most that Sting gets. Like you get. It's weird. But anyway, Zevron. I don't remember his side quest either.
Something with the Antivan crows with dealing with them.
I'm
I remember
sure
that much.
something like that. Yeah. So he's also a part. Yeah, that's another thing. Is that like because he failed at assassinating us and we accepted his invite to the party, um, he basically has a outstanding contract on him now, and he is basically just gonna be on the run for basically the rest of his life from the Antivan Crows, because no one leaves the Antivan Crows. The, you know,
Except
well,
through death.
and we get to the last companion, which is Logain. Logain is well, I mean, we already described kind of how he was and everything, and he
Yeah.
has no side quest. His literally is only joining you for the final battle of Denerim, and where he, if you spare him and make him become a warden.
And if you spare him, Alistair goes away.
Yeah, usually you can no, you can do it in a way that you keep it. But you have to do it like it's like one of those like you had to have made all the right choices, and do Alistair side quests and make the right choices in that. You have to harden his heart, but basically telling him that his sister's a bitch and he shouldn't care about her. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you have to force them to get married, and then you have to basically, it's real fucking like a lot of dialogue options. You have to make sure you click right. But yeah, but like Alistair fucking hates him, so like it's generously not a good idea. But anyway, so yeah, Logain is yeah, he's only there for the final battle, and he literally, like I said before, he only has two options, which is or three options: become a Grey Warden and live, and then make an appearance in the second game, because he does that, believe it or not. Kill the Archdemon and sacrifice himself, and lastly but not least, make your character become a cuck if you're you
Yeah.
know romancing Morgana. If you're not, then he just sleeps with her. And the fucking Queen of Ferelden has a fucking half brother or sister. Anyway, on to the last bit, or the Darkspawn. So these are the villains, which is I found this very nice picture. It's actually a wallpaper for a computer. Um,
No, that looks good.
yeah, basically, these are just the grim dark s fucking creatures you have to fight in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
You
This is
got
the original creatures for this universe too. Like,
Yeah. So and the cool thing is that like the ogres are actually like so all these creatures and stuff like that originally, I would say that themselves originally, because but like before the brood mothers, which we'll
mhm,
probably get into what brood mothers are in a bit. Actually, I'll do it now. So you got the brood mothers, which are basically like um,
pregnant women.
pregnant
It's
women.
pregnant women.
Well, it's women that are captured, and you find this out during the fucking the dwarven plot line.
You
They
cannot say you cannot say the R word on YouTube, by the way.
Oh really? But
Yep.
basically
They are great.
they are yeah they are taken by force multiple times, and they are force fed tainted meat and all kinds of shit. It's like real fucking dark shit.
Yeah. It describes this to you in a lore book. Very, very detailed too. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god.
yeah. But basically, yeah. So, but what the creatures that come out? You have the Ginlocks, which are human. So that means the broodmother was a human type of creature. You have the Ginlocks, which are the dwarven type s creatures, which are the shorter, greener looking dudes. You have the ogres, which are actually Quinaris, but the Quinaris are rare unless they have a blight that happens in the Quinaris' homeland. When I'm not fucking looking forward to having a game in that or a blight in that situation. And then you have the shrieks, which are elves that were, basically they're shadow people, that are, they go stealth and they've got like knives for hands type shit. And those are the enemies. You also have the archdemon, which is an actual literal, which is a dragon that was, I think they're like what dragon gods or something like that that were
Yes. Yep.
corrupted by the blight. Uh, and then obviously for other enemies that you have to face in general, you have to face giant spiders, bears, werewolves at some point in time. You have to in the duel Dalish bandits, criminals, all that shit. And then you also have this is where we start talking about the actual first DLC. Well, it's technically the second DLC because you're supposed to play it after Liliana's song. By the way that I was looking at or looking up, but I figured we'd talk about it here.
Yep.
So basically, the Darkspawn Chronicles is a DLC that you basically take control of the Darkspawn and fight through the city of Denerim as if you guys were
Oh, yeah, I
yeah
have heard about that one
yeah. So
actually.
basically, you go through the entire game or the entire level, the fight, which is basically just a copy of the fucking final battle. Just the sides are opposited and you fight all the way to the tower where the archdemon is currently fighting uh the wardens. And when you get up there, it turns comes to find out that you have the dog, which I named mine Spike. So you got the dog, you have Morgan, you have Liliana, and you have Alistair. And in this case, Alistair is the warden. Like as we were saying earlier, he would be the protagonist. uh but the way the Darkspawn Chronicles end is you have to kill them and make sure the archdemon lives, and that will basically kind of sort of like, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
uh, but other than that, though, man, it's pretty much the Darkspawn Chronicles is just that one big ass battle, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just it. It's just a side thing.
Uh,
I didn't watch you play the song Liliana. You'll have to just grab that one.
no, that one's not too rough. There we go. I found a nice picture for it too. Obviously, it doesn't look like this in the game, and neither does the character. The character actually has a ponytail. Like,
Yeah, neither does she, but looks goddamn hot in this.
yeah. Anyway, Liliana's song. So this DLC is placed before the events of Origins, and it comes to find out that Liliana was running around doing spy shit with a group of people. Fucking what's her name? Marilo or some shit like that. It's basically she had a woman that she was close to, and I'm pretty sure sexually. Like I think they actually like were she was in a relationship with her,
I bet she was whore.
and but yeah, so and basically they went through they were doing traps like stealing and then fucking framing people and really just causing general chaos for Relay. But at one point in time, basically, the her partner, Liliana's partner, decided to take it a step too far and they ended up doing treason. And because of that, basically Liliana convinces her to basically go back to undo the treason so nobody can find out, and then betrays her. And that involves getting her and her other two companions arrested and started in jail after stabbing her. She ends up getting stabbed and everything. And one of the companions ends up fuck what's his name? Can you look it up? I fucking put it on the there's
Tug,
yeah, Tug gets killed. Which is the dwarf. And what was the other name?
Silas,
Silas is, yeah, Silas is the
or
elf.
Sketch.
No, Sketch is the elf. Silas is the human. But anyway, so uh anyway, you end up breaking out of the prison. You try to you chase her down. You try to get your fucking um revenge, and then you don't get to make the choice. I believe that if you try to kill her, she escapes. But I made the choice of letting her go because of the fact that I knew that there's her side quest involves her basically her side quest in the Origins gameplay involves her tracking her down to Denerim and facing her once again and finally deciding whether or not to fucking let her go. but she is saved because of a chantry woman that dropped her basically the keys to get away, and that's why she's part of the chantry because she has nowhere else to go after all this has happened. Anyway, so we're gonna get talk to our characters. You have Sketch over there on the far left. He is a elf mage that kind of goes with you. Him and Tug have been best friends for years, and they've followed Liliana for a couple of years as well. And they're just all buddies. I mean, like he ends up Sketch ends up living through it and ends up going his separate ways after Liliana decides to join the Chantry. I believe he actually shows up in Dragon Age 2. I believe he's in the alienage in the second game. Then you have
Wow.
Silas, who is a human guard that helps you escape from prison. I cannot remember what's special about him. I think he's
I
literally
like
just
his
a fucking a guard.
I like his I like his guard uniform though.
Yeah, I don't know
That's what
what.
I mean by that fucking good design. You know.
Mhm. And then you have Tug, who is the dwarf that ends up getting killed. Uh, and he is, like I said, just another one of the companions that follow fucking Liliana. I mean, they don't really. The DLC is very short, so you don't really have time to really get attached to any of these characters. I mean, you
Hmm.
don't. I mean, like I said, like it's not much. I mean, eh, that's about it. All right, we're gonna go to the next DLC, which is Awakening DLC.
The
This is the
big
big.
DLC.
Yeah, this is
The,
the big.
this
I used
this
to
is the
call
big
this.
one.
I used to call this Dragon Age Origins 1.5, and that's not even a joke because I believe this is one of the very first games that ever charged or that ever created DLC and basically put it out there to be bought. And it's not a second game. It is not a fucking game. It is an expansion, and a lot of people didn't know that. So for the longest time, people thought that that was basically a second game. And I remember there being people that were mad about Dragon Age because it was like they came up with a second game, the second game's ass. It's like it's a whole whole thing. But no, this is literally a fucking expansion, and it was a whole big old thing. And also, I believe they really kickstarted the whole fucking DLC fucking charging, you know,
Yeah, bullshit. Thank,
yeah,
thank you, thank you.
Dragon Age. It seems like no
Yeah,
matter
thank you,
what
Dragon
fucking
Age.
game it seems like no matter what how many game whatever game they make, there's always some major decision they made in the game that ruined that fucking is a bad
Yep,
decision.
yep.
All right. Anyway, so the plot of Awakening is basically the warden, your character, or if you died in the final gameplay, I mean you're just a random warden that they had sent over to fucking take over or whatever. Um, basically, they're given the position of warden commander. And then they have to deal with a bunch of nobles and everything, and they come to find out that there are darkspawn that can talk. Because every other darkspawn up to this point has been like, like
Yeah,
yeah,
they sound like the goddamn Murlocs from from fucking
and it's
uh,
just
from World of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft. Yeah, but yeah, no, they're all but these are intelligent ones that are actually talking. And then you go through a couple of levels here and there. Um, and there's one of the deep roads. And then you come across this dude called the Architect, which we'll get more into him. But basically, he's like Ooga Booga, like I can make Darkspawn. I'm trying to cure Darkspawn, and that's a whole thing. And then you come across something called the Mother, which the Mother is is a brood mother that he had tried to cure, and he ended up did technically curing, and by curing is in like cutting them off from the source of the song, basically, which is the song is what they call the archdemon, basically like gathering them type stuff. And so the architect is a fella that is not evil, but he's also technically not good because he is a darkspawn. He is one of the magisters that broke into fucking heaven itself to take power from it. Um, but other than that, though, I think that's basically the story. I mean, like you go through and you can kill the architect. You can spare him. I believe I spared him because at that point in time I did not want to start the game. I was trying to save because you're supposed to because one of the options, one of the choices is basically you have to decide to save the keep that you have, and the keep is something that you can upgrade and stuff like that, or save the city. Well, I tried to I was working to save both of them, and I was trying to do I was trying to do the joining, but unfortunately the joining for one of the characters I got, but basically it made me end up accidentally fucking starting the game into the game. Just and it pissed me off to the point where I just said, "Fuck it, I'll make all the bad decisions and or the non-canon decisions, which is sparing the architect because I believe the canon decision is to kill him." And
I don't
then,
know. You might that might be the one quote unquote bad thing your character might actually do.
yeah, I have no idea. I could not tell you because he's not really curing them. It's basically like it's allowing the dark spot. He's basically trying to take the control of the archdemon away,
Yes.
basically to stop the song, and that's why the mother is so angry because she enjoyed the song. Not all darkspawn can think for themselves basically after they've been cut out. Um, but yeah, no, the game is not a. Yeah, that's basically it. I think for the plot at least.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a fucking real Cliff Note version. Man, these are the different companions you can get. You have Anders.
Sorry. The natural response I have to that character.
Anders Anders in Awakening is actually fun.
Yeah.
I
Anderson
enjoyed having
Awakening
him.
is fine. Anderson Awakening is fine.
He's a funny mage guy. He's an apostate. You end up basically taking him into the Grey Warden so he doesn't get fucking captured. He's a funny haha little guy. He's a pretty good mage. He's more of a support mage if I'm not mistaken. He's more of a healer type stuff. But
Yes.
I mean, in like there's not very many side quests for these characters. I mean, his main thing is literally he doesn't like Templars,
Yeah. Yeah.
which isn't
You get
anything bad.
you don't get side quests for these characters. They're all you get like loose backgrounds, and that's basically it with
Yeah,
them.
their main quests and everything are the plot of Awakening for the levels.
Yes. Yeah.
So and then you have Viliana, what's her name? You
Sorry,
have
have to look. I was doing a little bit
Vili
of side cooking.
Veliana,
Let me read it. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Villana.
Valana, yeah, Valana. Yeah, she is basically a Dalish elf that was basically like, fuck humans, let's go beat them up, and then she got exiled because of her radical views. And then her sister followed her. Her sister and a couple of other radicals left the Dalish tribe and to go, be mean. And then turns out the Darkspawn basically kind of ganged up on everybody and separated them and killed most of the other Dalish, and she was the only one left. So she thought they killed her sister, and fucking, she was crazy. Uh, anyway, she's a mean ass. She's mean as fuck
I
too.
like to imagine. Do you remember the ducks from the regular show?
Yeah.
The like kid ducks where they walk up to the snake and they beat the shit out of them. That's kind of how I imagine when were saying and the dark spawn jumped them. Dark spawn, the little ducks.
But
Huh.
yeah, no, she's actually a very fucking. Her personality is mean as like she's a mean bitch to everybody. It's not even an exaggeration. Also,
Even if you're Dalish.
no, no, yeah, it doesn't matter. She don't like. Well, she may be nicer, but to everybody in general, she's like, fuck you, you know.
Punks your ass out. Huh.
Yeah. And then you have Justice, which is he's literally the spirit of justice that took over the body of a Grey Warden. He, because he wanted to bring justice to the people that had been slain, or for whatever reason. And basically, it's a whole thing that involves basically an entire town that was dragged into the Fade by a fucking blood mage, so that they could keep them for years and years to come. And Justice basically wanted to fucking save
Thanks, Blood Mage.
everybody, and you got dragged into the Fade by accident. And then, anyway, that's a whole thing. He ends up taking over the body of the Grey Warden you had went out to find, because there was a bunch of Grey Wardens that went missing with information that you needed. Uh, Also, fun fact: in Dragon Age 2, Justice is convinced by Anders to inhabit his body, so that he's not having to basically hold on to a corpse forever. And when he does that, Justice is transformed and corrupted by Anders' hatred for Templars and becomes vengeance, and they fuse together as one. And then Anders becomes a character that nobody fucking likes anymore. Uh, and then we have the dwarf down there, Sigrun, I believe.
I'd like to point out that decision was made by Anders to do that shit, and he once again made the wrong decision. Thanks,
Yeah,
Anders.
yep. He makes everything worse.
You
He
literally
tries.
screw yeah, yeah,
He
you
tries
literally
so hard.
screwed over Justice,
Uh,
who was a good guy and was a genuinely good spirit.
yeah, he was a good spirit until got turned to vengeance. But anyway, Sigrun, she is a Legion of Dead, which is a special warrior. They're the dwarves that choose to go and fight to the last man against the fucking. They're the front line of defense against Darkspawn and the Deep Roads, basically. Uh, but she and her fellow Legion of Dead end up getting fucking jumped by a bunch of Darkspawn, and she's the only one that made it out alive. Uh, well, minus one other person, and that one other person, and also uh the elf bitch's fucking sister, are both taken in by the architect, and they're side by side. Basically, they join the architect for whatever reason. It looked like, I think the Legion of the Dead one looked like she was kind of mind controlled, whereas like the elf sister is it looks like she was there willingly. But yeah, so I ended up killing her in my playthrough. She seemed like she was a spunky dwarf, like very like fucking like very tomboy dwarf. And I hated killing her because like I said, I let the architect live. So, and she did not like
Mhm.
that, and she tried to kill my ass, and I was like, sorry, sorry. Like, anyway, I didn't really I didn't really get to know her very much because, like I said, I was trying to put her through the joining, but when I tried to do that, it started the fucking end game immediately, and she never even got to do the joining. Anyway, so then we have Nathan Howe, which I thought he was a very good character.
Mhm.
Basically, Roland Howe. It was
Yeah.
basically his father was the right hand man of Logain, and he basically fucked over a lot of people and ruined their family name. And since you're the warden and everything, and you actually the keep is actually the Howell's family land and everything. So he comes in to try to steal a bunch of shit, which is literally just his family artifacts and everything, and gets captured. You free him from prison. He's a bow and arrow archer dude. He ends up being like a pretty good fucking like personality wise. Ends up joining the Grey Wardens. Side by side. Fun times.
Definitely
Uh,
one of my more favorite characters
yeah.
of
Uh,
that DLC.
yeah. I enjoyed. I enjoyed. I think my three favorite companions. Oh, I forgot Ogren. Ogren was in this game.
Hmm.
Ogren's in this
He
game
is.
as well, and
Yep.
yeah, it turns out that girlfriend that you hook him up with, he ends up fucking impregnating her, and now they got a baby.
Yeah.
Like, and then yeah,
Only for him to want to become a Grey Warden.
yeah, it's the whole thing.
He's like, it's like, buddy, you just became a father. Why would you want to become a Grey Warden, which literally have
A mortality
a
rate.
lease on life? Yeah, they
Yeah,
well, not just a
they
mortality
yeah
rate.
they can
They're
only
going to die.
yeah
Like they will only last so many years before they get the call of the fucking
archdemon
archfiend.
yeah, and they gotta fucking go down to the deep road so they can die in peace or in battle really.
Hmm.
Uh, anyway, that's all. But that's all for the companions for the Awakening series. Now for the
Yep.
villains. So like I said before, the architect, he is one of the magisters that fucking went to the golden throne, found it was empty, got mad about it, and got became a blighted fuck twit and fucking got sent back down.
Yep.
Um, he, like I said before, is doing all kinds of shit, and yeah, it's very complicated. I can't really describe I'm also getting kind of tired of talking, so it's like fuck it. Ugh.
Let's get in there. It's getting there. We're almost there.
Yeah, but I mean, you have the mother on the left hand side. The mother is capable of birthing smart darkspawn because she was worked on by the architect, and she is also the technically the main antagonist because, like I said, you can let the architect go, whereas like with the mother, you have to fight her to the death. Uh, yeah, I mean, she's nasty.
Shit.
I mean,
Yeah, nasty bitch.
yeah, and her entire thing is literally she's fucking trying to. I think she really is just trying to get you to kill her, honestly, throughout the game, because like I said, she cannot stand not hearing the voice or whatever, and she also wants you to kill the architect as well. Um, so yeah, I mean that's basically the enemies right there. Unless you have anything else you want to say.
Nope.
All right.
This DLC isn't bad. Definitely my favorite DLC of the
Oh
ones.
yeah, yeah. All right. Now we're gonna get to the golems of armor. I can't fucking say the name,
Hmm.
but basically, you get a letter asking for help from a dwarf. About possibly finding another golem production site or something enchanted. I can't remember exactly what it was. And it's a pretty short DLC. I'd say it's even shorter than literally on a song. Um, but basically you go down into this this thag or this thag, which is basically the equivalent of um fucking cities, underground cities, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but when you get down there, there's some spooky shit going on, and like this entire DLC is literally just a horror DLC. You go through the entire fucking level, and you just constantly like there's a couple puzzles that involve like you fading in and out of dimensions and shit like that. It's a yeah, it's a trip. The entire DLC is a trip. Anyway, so in I literally just combine them all into one. This is literally the companions and the main enemy. So the first enemy, or the first companion, sorry, is the dwarf. I can't remember his name.
Jarek.
Yeah, Jarek. So Jarek is what's all the names for him?
It's Jarek, Brogan, and the Runic Golem
Yeah. Okay. So
and Weird Creature.
yeah, weird creature is the enemy. Um. So Jarek is a dwarf that's calling you. Basically, his friend or his brother, which is Brolin, is trapped in there because they found this haunted thag that they're trying to fucking get the technology out or the smithing technology and smithing skills. I think there's an anvil or a forge down there that's like it makes like super high quality weapons is I think what it was. And so Jarek needs your help to go down there and everything. Um, obviously he finds the brother, which is Brolin, which is right there next to it. And as you can tell, that motherfucker has seen some shit. When you first meet him, he's like fucking like half crazed and fucking batshit crazy and stuff like that, and is constantly fucking like saying, "Oh no, no." I mean, you have the runic golem, which is I think literally just a fucking placeholder to fucking so you have a full party. But basically, he's kind of I mean, it's just a golem that fucking runs around, does nothing else, has no personality. Um, And then you have the weird ass creature. I do not remember the name of it. Just know that it was that's his head. You know how it has all those arms? That thing
Uh
was
huh.
was fucking chasing you and fucking like coming around corners left and right and really just being a spooky little menace. Uh it wasn't until you got to the final boss chamber that it crawled into the body of that fucking where it's standing up now that you realize that that was only his head running around. And but basically that is the monster. It's like some kind of weird abomination flesh. I don't know I don't know how like I really don't know what the fuck was going on half the time in that fucking DLC. Because like I said, it was so short and like
Yeah.
it yeah yeah. Anyway, that was a DLC. Like it wasn't a terrible DLC. You get some really good shit from it, but like I mean, you know what I
Get some
mean?
good lore and whatnot, but it was a meh DLC. It was
Yeah.
like a
So
all right.
I would say that from what I was reading when I was looking up the what order to play these DLCs in. they
Mhm.
recommend doing this one before Awakening, not because of any other reason other than the fact of you can get good shit out of it and you can bring it into Awakening. But they said that the actual canon timeline would be this would be the very last DLC to play.
Which makes sense, but
Yeah. All right. So the last DLC, the Witch Hunt. It's a good photo. I don't know
good
this
photo.
this
It was a
photo.
good DLC.
Yeah, this photo and fucking Liliana's photos are the only ones I could find that actually look good. Um. Anyway, the whole Witch Hunt. It's another pretty easy ass DLC. I think it has almost the exact same runtime as um fucking what's it
It
called?
is a good DLC for those who appreciated Morgana.
Yeah. All right.
If you wanted more Morgana content and you actually did her fucking her romance, because really that's what this DLC was intended for.
Yeah, it involves
The DLC was good.
the demon baby that you guys or the
Yeah,
god baby you made.
yeah. Because if you didn't do that that romance with her and you fucking just I don't know hated and despised her character, then you really were just hunting her ass down.
Yeah, and to stab her, you can literally stab her through the fuck and push her through the fucking mirror.
Hmm.
So basically, yeah, the entire the game is literally you just tracking them down and stuff like that, and um, it's really just it's really it's just for romance. But I mean, like I said, you can in fact kill her or attempt to kill her. You don't actually kill her because you know. Anyway,
Because she's in the next
yeah, that's right. I did a weird thing with it. I got really bored towards the very end. But these are your two
game.
companions. I mean, also the dog. You play
they
one.
are they are dry as fuck.
Yeah, what?
They are not. I don't. I barely remember them. That's how
So,
dry they were.
well, yeah, I remember the DLC was also short, so I don't remember their names. If you can tell me their names real quick.
Ariana and Finn.
Okay, so Finn is they're kind of the Finn is stereotypical as in like that nerdy like he know it all
Hmm.
like oh I have a book for this like that's the mage dude on the far
Yeah,
right. Whereas and he comes along simply because of the fact that like he wants to get out of the tower and go on an adventure, but like not really go on an adventure. He's like he's really like fascinated architect stuff like that. He's like like I said just really booky. And then you have
yeah.
Ariana. Her entire thing was she came looking for you because Morgana came to her Dalish tribe bar and basically was like have making friends and everything, and then was like, oh, can I see this book? And then they were like, yeah, sure, you can look at the book.
Stole it. Yeah.
And then she like looked at it for a couple of days, and then she disappeared with the book. And now she's there chasing after, you know, and basically your character, the warden, decides to follow her because that is, that's the only
It's your
lead that
boo.
you've had since the fucking end of the, base game that you have for her, and you fucking, you know, but yeah, I mean, she's like, as you're about to go talk to her and everything, she's like, ask her if she knows where the book is. And like, I definitely didn't ask. I was literally just like, let's get the fuck out of here.
You turns to her. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, and then the end of the DLC is literally you walking into the mirror and literally abandoning all of your duties to spend time with the one you love and your child if you decide to, impregnate her. Because you can impregnate her and not sacrifice yourself. You mean like you if you were to send like you could like make a baby, like a regular ass baby, and sacrifice yourself, or you can, make a fucking baby and make Alistair or Logain sacrifice themselves. It's it don't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a demon baby. I just prefer the god baby because it feels more canon to me. Which is also canon for you to go in the mirror with Morgana. All right, and I believe that's basically the old DLC. We're gonna get into the score now. Me and Matt kind of sort of discussed this when we came to a nice middle ground. Out of 1,000, we give it 891. Simply because of the fact that it is an older game, so the score is going to be a little lower.
Yeah.
It's
It
the
is.
fact that the
It is
combat
not.
is so stiff. It's just so outdated.
Yeah.
The combat itself is outdated. But the
Yeah.
story, the the base, the boost simply from nostalgia. Um,
The artwork,
Yeah, the
The
design.
plot, the everything about this game is a good game.
Hmm.
Like there is the only thing that will literally ever turn you off of this game is how the dated the graphics look, and they're not even though they're dated, they're not terrible dated, and the gameplay itself.
Yep.
Because if you don't like that kind of RPG gameplay it has, it will instantly turn you off from the rest of the game. But if
Yep.
you can get past both of those factors, this will be a game that you will always love and want to come back to because of how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, I recently, like the most recent before I played this game, I think the most recent I played it was like 2 years prior because I simply wanted to replay it while I was high out of my mind because I just left the military. So like, I mean, like it's one of those
Yeah.
games that like I always want to come back to and play because of how good it is. In general, like just the story and everything, it just feels good. I mean, like it also helps that like even though I know every choice, I still discover things throughout the game as I play. You know, with every new playthrough. You know, obviously, spread them out because if you just sit there and play back to back to back to back, you're just gonna see the same shit. But if you want to play it and then like take a year off of it and come back and play it again, you'll probably find something that you didn't notice the first time. So anyway, so like I said before, me and Matt, we gave it a 891 ogre heads out of 1,000. Or as the kids say, you round that to an 8.9. I feel like that's very justified. It's lower than a 9, like I said once before, because it's simply just a little too old and too dated. But it's still a solid game. But yeah, anyway, thanks for
Yeah.
listening to our review. I know you guys are tired of hearing my voice. Uh, my voice is tired of talking, so I'm going to get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. Also, I didn't even realize the music that I had for ambience just stopped playing randomly.
Yeah. At some point.
Oh well, fuck it. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye.